He's an actor, screenwriter, director, musician. He has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome in Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton on First Take. That was from Friday Night Lights. Powerful, powerful stuff there. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
You have told us during the commercial break you're a huge fan of the show. You watch it every day. Huge honor for us to hear that.
Oh, it's so bizarre because I feel like I'm here every day anyway. And, oh, you should hear me yelling at the TV.
Who are you yelling at?
No, I'm usually...
No,
they're both, I mean, you know, there are times when, during the whole Tebow thing, well, I guess we're still...
Here we go.
He brought it up.
We're still in.
I know, Stephen, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because I had an opinion on that. I actually wanted to call you guys so many times, and you know, thinking like it's a radio show or something, I could just call in. But so many times I wanted to call in and throw my 2 cents in on that whole thing. And that was probably my most animated, you know, period when that was really heated. And because I agree with, you know, both of you guys at different times, you know, on things. But on that one, I had this opinion, and it was that Tebow was so created by the media that I was thinking, well, throughout football history, there have been plenty of quarterbacks who weren't that good. You know what I mean? I mean, there are guys who are average, not so good, washed out, you know. And at any other time in history, before the social network and before all this kind of thing, Tim Tebow would have been another guy who, yeah, he could play football. He did very well at Florida. And I understood your point about he's not a great passer and all that kind of stuff, but he could throw the ball. But when people would say he didn't belong in the NFL, that got me mad because I don't belong in the NFL. You know what I mean? But Tim Tebow belonged in the NFL because he was a rough kid who could play football, and I thought he was good for the sport in the sense that he brought sort of that old college spirit to the game. That's what I thought he was good for. You know,
I would tell you this, and Lord knows I did not want to talk about Tebow today, but I will say this. I think the thing that annoyed me about the whole Tebow thing was that people tried to change the argument. Like for me, I never once said he doesn't belong in the NFL. I think he's good for the NFL. I think he's a great kid. I think he works hard. I think that he can do a lot of, he has that it factor, and he can do a lot of things to help an NFL team win. I just didn't think he could throw. So to me, he has no business playing quarterback. But you had a lot of people that favored him so heavily that they would try to, and Skip actually was not guilty of this, but you had people that would try to change it because they loved him so much for reasons that extended beyond football that they would try to change the argument to say, well, people were saying he doesn't belong in the NFL. And to me, that's not what a lot of people were saying.
And I agree with that. And I thought sometimes they're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. But the whole thing made about him, how he would pray after things, after a touchdown or whatever, they made such a big deal out of that and made fun of him over that. That's what kind of upset me, because if you look back over the past 20 years or so, how many times have we seen other players do exactly the same thing? So all of a sudden that became the Tebow, and it's like, that's been around forever. And so I thought he was unduly punished by a lot of people, and I thought you guys' talks about him were great, and I thought it was really good.
Do you believe he could still play quarterback in this league, starting quarterback?
I think there are so many good quarterbacks, you know, and although it's a little slim this last time, you know, I think he could play starting quarterback for a team that desperately needed a quarterback. I really did think Jacksonville was the place he should have gone.
Who's the best quarterback in football right now?
Best quarterback in football right now.
Because I know you watch your football.
I do. And I got to say, I think I'm a Peyton Manning guy. I'm a Colts fan. Now I have to root for the Broncos unless they're playing the Colts. I think in terms of natural ability, I think Peyton Manning, but I have to go with my enemy. I still think Tom Brady is
Tom Brady your
Thank you.
enemy?
Case closed.
Well, no, because
the man has spoken.
I don't like. I'm not a Patriots fan because the Colts are my team, and I believe Tom Brady is the kind of guy that at his age, and as long as he's been in the league, I still think that guy is as smart and as athletically talented as any quarterback
I
I've seen.
think Tom Brady is sensational. I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks
Here we go.
ever.
We're about to get a
But let
bad
me ask you this question. What about that bad man in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers?
I love Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers.
But he's a level below Tom Brady?
If you had to rank them.
If I had to rank them, I would rank Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and I would say 2 years from now it'll be Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Peyton, because I don't know, that neck injury, that's a bad thing.
That's fair.
So
Take it.
All right.
Give us a little insight into your sports background. Your father was a high school basketball coach, and it seemed that you channeled your father in Friday Night Lights and Mr. Woodcock. Fair to say?
fair to say.
You were a pretty good country baseball player in the state of Arkansas. And you, as I recall, went to a tryout camp for the Royals?
I did for the Kansas City Royals. I got my collarbone broken. I'd been there about a half an hour. And I was talking to a guy over by the first base coach's box, and they were taking infield practice. Third baseman threw to first. First baseman wasn't looking, hit me in the collarbone, and I went home. So
and an acting career was launched.
That's exactly right. And I always tell people it probably worked out for the best because let's say I'd even made it to the minors. And I was a pretty good pitcher, but I don't know if I'd have made it or not. But I was a good junk baller. If I had made it even to the minors, I'd be selling cars somewhere right now and would have been for 25 years.
That's true.
I mean, I'm 57 years old now, and I still am in the middle of my career. And I can do this. Robert Duvall's 81. Harry Dean Stanton's 86. So you can keep doing this. And baseball players don't stick around that long. So I look at it as a good thing in a lot of ways.
But you did grow up, as did I, St. Louis Cardinals fan, because that was our team in that region of the country. How shocked are you that post-Pujols, they have continued to play to such a high level?
I'm not shocked at all. And the reason I'm not shocked, I'm very close to Tony La Russa. He and I have been friends for a long time. And
Great manager.
Terrific manager. My managers are Leland, La Russa, and Francona. I mean, I think those cats are, they represent baseball. They seem like the old guys to me. And one way or the other, I asked La Russa one night, I said, what is it about the Cardinals? Because next to the Yankees, the Cardinals have won more World Series than anybody. They've had a great tradition forever. He said, the thing about the St. Louis Cardinals is teaching. He said they teach, always have. In other words, it comes up through the system. They don't trade. I mean, one of the things that frustrates me about the Dodgers, because they're the hometown team here, and when we're not playing the Dodgers, I mean, when the Dodgers aren't playing the Cardinals, I'll root for them. But one of the things that they do is they'll trade for a guy who's 42 years old, who's a superstar 5 years ago. And I don't think that farm system is used the way it should be. So the Cardinals use that farm system. You see who the Cardinal hero right now, besides Yachty, it's Alan Craig.
Alan Craig.
And you got these kids, Cosma and Shane Robinson, and, maybe not, the most amazing players in the world, but they come in there and they contribute. And
compete and get it done.
Compete and get it done. David Freese, all these guys. And to me, Yadier Molina is the best baseball player going right now. And I think that's why the Cardinals have that thing. When Pujols went to the Angels, I don't think, I believe that sports has become so star-oriented. So in other words, this basketball player goes from the Clippers to the Nets or whatever. Well, why didn't they win a championship? They got this guy. Because all this value is placed on superstars, as opposed to, that's why I love baseball, it's because it's such a team thing, and it's you guys talk about intangibles a lot. And this superstar idea, just because Albert Pujols goes to the Angels and Josh Hamilton goes and they're hitting next to each other in the lineup, does not guarantee you a World Series. And I think the Angels' mistake was not obviously in getting those guys, because they're amazing. They go through slumps, they'll come back. Getting rid of Torrey Hunter was their mistake. Torrey Hunter was that clubhouse.
Billy Bob, let's switch gears for a minute before we get you out of here. Now, you said, no, that's okay. You said something about this thing. You can do this thing for a while in reference to acting. What do you have going on? What's your next project?
You know what? When I see an actor come on a sports show and they show a clip from their movie, it makes me feel like I need to go take a shower.
Oh.
Because?
Why?
Because that is... the reason I came here is because all I think about is sports.
Nice.
And my kids, kids and sports, and I love making movies. But I kind of feel creepy if I come on a sports show and promote something.
Sure.
And I guarantee you somebody, because I know you guys are into Twitter and Facebook and all these things, somebody will say, well, why is he there then? But if I had promoted something, they'd say, oh, sure, he's on there to promote something, so you can't win.
Never.
But one way or the other, I got a couple of movies coming up later this year, and I'll talk about them on David Letterman.
Fine, then we'll retweet it here.
We appreciate you
I
coming
cannot
on the
let
show.
him go.
Yeah, get one
without
out.
saying, and I know you get sick of hearing this, the character of Carl in Sling Blade,
Sensational.
pure genius. Just
Sensational
pure genius.
performance.
Honored to have you.
Oh, well,
It
thank
was
you
a
so much.
pleasure to
Thank
have you.